just saying to the guys that the DJ LeMahieu injury and him not being ready for opening day concerns me, because as somebody that is very high on this Yankee team this year, as someone that thinks they will win the American League East with the Orioles taking a step back, a part of my thinking is I think this is an offense that's going to score a crap load of runs.
Mm-hmm.
DJ LeMahieu is one of those reasons why. So before we went to break, I said, take out Judge, Soto, and Cole, because we all know their greatness and their importance. How would you power rank the most important Yankees in 2024? So I asked Tiki to do it, Sean to do it. I compiled my list. So let's compare some notes. And, of course, we'll hear from you, 877-337-6666. Let's see if we have a consensus on the most important New York Yankee, not named Judge, Soto, or Cole.
By the way, doesn't DJ also back up first base?
He does.
Right, so that just adds more.
Last year, the New York Yankees played 3 men at first base. They played Anthony Rizzo 92 times.
Yeah.
They played DJ LeMahieu 50 times. And there was one other guy that played 20 games at first base. He is no longer with us. And by that, I don't mean he's dead. I mean he's on a different team. I think he's on the Brewers. And that, of course, is the immortal Jake Bauers. So they do not have a backup first baseman on their roster without DJ LeMahieu, which is why the number one most important New York Yankee after the big three is
number one.
DJ LeMahieu. In my opinion, he is the engine of this Yankee offense. When they were who they were in 2019, it was DJ LeMahieu. And so when you look at his ability to play third base, by the way, also his ability to play second base if you needed, and his ability to be the backup first baseman, and the fact that I certainly had him in pen as the leadoff hitter on this team, he is the number one most important New York Yankee after the big three.
Now, when you put that out there like that, I agree with you, but I was excluding him because he's not starting the opening day.
So who'd you put as number one?
Number one.
I had Rodon as number one.
No, I expected that. Did you do the same thing, Sean?
Sort of. I had two people as number one.
Well, that's
number one.
It was Rodon or Stroman.
Yeah.
They don't need both to be elite.
Yeah.
They need somebody else to be a big-time starter on this team.
With Cole down, you are effectively the ace. And so one of those guys has to be back of their baseball. And not even, I guess Stroman's back of his baseball card, but not Rodon. He's just got to be elite like he was with the White Sox when he was trying to get a contract. That's what we need him to be. If he's not, then the bullpen's going to get taxed. I mean, I like Clark Schmidt, but he looked wild the other day. Who did he hit? He hit Marte. Hit Marte in the head. So, I mean, not Clark Schmidt, Klay Holmes. He hit Marte in the head. So the bullpen you worry about just a little bit. If Rodon is not himself and not giving you 6-7 innings on any of these outings. So Rodon, to me, was number one.
I knew it. I knew both of these Yankee fans would say what I think is the answer most people would give, by the way. Like, I think you are speaking for the people when you say it's pitching stupid. I'll tell you why I disagree with you respectfully. Look.
By the way, I would have agreed with you.
Oh, would you have, DJ?
But
you would have put him ahead of Carlos
But
Rodon?
DJ's not playing, so
Well, I know, but he's still important. Like, he's
of
still
course he
needed.
is,
Yeah, but when the edict is
that's like
eliminate
saying Gerrit Cole is number one.
Well, no, I said
I did my
exclude
list. I did my list. I know. I did my list with the guys that are available. I have no idea when DJ's going to be available.
I
understand.
understand.
I hope it's in a week or 9 days, whenever the heck it is. But it could be a month.
I'll tell you why it's not Rodon and Stroman, even though I think that's the typical answer. Because you look at this rotation, you see no Gerrit Cole, you see the questions behind him, and you say, boy, I need somebody to step up. I just don't think that's baseball in 2024. And I think the formula that the Yankees are going to need to succeed, if I'm going to be right that they're going to win this division, if I'm going to be right that they're going to win 99 games, their formula is very simple. They're going to have to mash. That's who they're going to have to be. And you can make the playoffs in Major League Baseball with a mashing offense and an average to sub-average rotation. In fact, would you like a specific example? The Texas Rangers a year ago.
Of course.
So,
but they can't stink, Ev.
Right. The rotation can't be bad.
I understand, but their offense needs to be really good. If I'm wrong about this offense and they're average, then they're not going anywhere. This offense needs to be the strength of the team. If it is not the strength of the team, honestly, I don't care how good Carlos Rodon is. I don't think it's going to matter.
No,
they need to score runs. If they don't, they will fall way short of my hopes and beliefs in them.
I think there's no denying that that's right. However, in this practice, you have told us to eliminate Gerrit Cole, Juan Soto, and Aaron Judge.
Yes.
It starts with Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. So if I'm building a list after that, the next important is going to be the pitcher while Cole's out.
I disagree with you. In fact, watch my number 2. You'll like this.
Number 2.
Anthony Rizzo.
Okay.
I'm sticking in the lineup. This team needs to hit.
By the way, I concur with that.
Thank you.
My number
I had
2
him
was
at
also
3.
Rizzo.
Number 2.
You got Anthony Rizzo number 2?
Also Rizzo.
Because, again, the Yankees, and I think the Mets are similar too, by the way, but we're talking about the Yankees right now. They need to score runs. They need to be an elite-level offense. And quite frankly, the Yankees haven't truly had an elite-level offense in a couple of years. And for anyone who says, Evan, at 2022, they scored a lot of runs. Did they? They did. But how'd they do it? They did it on a guise. They did it on a thing that fooled you, on a thing that distracted you. They needed a historical season from Aaron Judge, and they got nothing else from anybody. You can't rely on that. Now, look, could Aaron Judge stay healthy and I guess have another historical season? Sure, in theory. But they need to mash besides one guy, besides 2 guys now in the case of Juan Soto. Anthony Rizzo's good. Let's not forget who Anthony Rizzo is. Let's not forget that 2 years ago, if you were asking who do you want up at a big spot, your answer may have been Anthony Rizzo above anybody else. And you know what Anthony Rizzo has done that not many guys on the New York Yankees have done? He's got this cool little thing on his finger.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's a championship ring.
It's shiny. Yeah, he's got a championship ring. And by the way, he got a couple of guys like that now, and they didn't win it here. Juan Soto's the other. I think Anthony Rizzo proving that last year was concussion-like symptoms that really effed with him. If we got April Anthony Rizzo, changes the entire lineup. And again, if they score runs, they will be fine. And they will be able to overcome, at least in the regular season, having that mediocre pitching. That's why I haven't even named the pitcher on my list.
Sean, number 2?
Number 2.
My number 2. And by the way, Rizzo is 3. All the things you said, exact. Season went down the hill after they lost him to not being himself. Number 2 should be blatantly obvious. I'm actually studying to go here. It's Klay Holmes. Look at who Wandy Peralta's gone. We're talking about Caleb Ferguson, Ian Hamilton. Canely is still not back. Loizaga. Klay Holmes needs to, after they didn't spend with Hader, be that lockdown. The most demoralizing thing this team could do is blow leads late. If they don't have Klay Holmes cooking, the whole bullpen is going to fear the effect of that, and they ignored that position essentially in free agency. This could be a potential disaster if Klay Holmes is not consistently steady.
I thought about Klay Holmes as 3rd because I think you're right. The Yankees have a lot of questions in their bullpen. Is Jonathan Loizaga going to be healthy and good? Is Tommy Canely going to come back healthy? You mentioned Caleb Ferguson. You know, how good can this bullpen be? Is Ian Hamilton going to be a force? Here's why I put Marcus Stroman at number 3.
Number 3.
Because I can see relievers. I see it every year, bro. You're about to see this in fantasy, Tiki. Relievers come out of nowhere.
That's why we took a couple of them.
Did you? Who'd you draft?
I forget.
You forgot.
Suarez,
Yes.
the better Diaz.
Right, the better Diaz.
And we
playing Diaz.
took a flyer on David Robertson.
By the way, the better Diaz he's referring to as Alexis. I have the better Diaz. His name is Edwin, and he's on my team.
Okay, got to come back from it.
Yeah, hasn't thrown a
Come
pitch
back
in a
from
while.
injury.
Thank you. I think that relievers more times than not, and Cashman's proved this. I mean, the Yankee bullpen, even though I have some questions about it, most Yankee fans feel good about it because the Yankee bullpen's good every year. Well, why is it good every year? Somehow Brian Cashman is able to find a good bullpen. While I think Klay Holmes is really, really important for the reasons you gave, I could see him stinking and Ian Hamilton being one of the better relievers in baseball. Like, crap like that happens all the time. Now I start to get to the pitching. And the reason I put Stroman over Carlos Rodon is that there's a boom-bust factor to Carlos Rodon. It's his entire major league career has been boom-bust. It's been, is he healthy?
Yeah,
that's
but
been the number
if
one
he's
thing.
a bust, and it's the second year in a row as a bust, I mean, that portends bad things, man.
It's a bad thing, but Marcus Stroman is the more solid, reliable guy, and you need solidness and reliability. That is really, really important. And that's why Marcus Stroman, being who he is, not the guy from the second half who was hurt and when he tried to pitch wasn't effective, like the Marcus Stroman, the guy that pitched for the Mets, the guy that pitched for the Blue Jays, like the Marcus Stroman, I think it matters more. It's reliability, it's solidness. Carlos Rodon, you already know going in as boomer bust. That's what he is. That's what his entire major league career has been. So I'd put Marcus Stroman 3, then I'd put Klay Holmes.
So I got a surprise number 3.
Go ahead.
Number 3.
Giancarlo Stanton. If he plays and he's healthy, and he can play the field and give you the defensive versatility as well as the positional versatility with the DH, not having to only be the DH, it changes what the Yankees can and cannot do to keep everybody else healthy. They need him to be the guy he wanted to be last year before he had that soft tissue issue. I think it was his calf that kept him out for however many weeks that he missed last season. If Giancarlo Stanton, the slimmed-down Giancarlo Stanton, who led this team in the spring training in home runs, even though 3 of them came in one game, if he is that guy, then the Yankees feel a lot more viable and able to manage all of the issues that potentially are going to come up health-wise.
I feel like the Yankees have a lot more Giancarlo Stanton insurance than they ever had. Like, in a perfect world, in the world that we've existed, I wouldn't say a perfect world, because I guess in a perfect world, Giancarlo Stanton is the guy from 2017, and he's hitting 59 home runs, as unlikely as that is. No, I don't think he's going to do that either. So I'll rephrase it. In a more realistic world, Giancarlo Stanton's a part-time player, and he can be a damn good part-time player. I've said this before on the air. His numbers last year against lefties were tremendous. And if you use him in that role, and let's say him and Alex Verdugo are platooning, because Verdugo mashes right-handed pitching but can't hit lefties, you have yourself this great platoon that works.
But we don't know that that's going to happen yet. That's just your plan. We don't know that that's what they're going to do.
It's my plan only if Jason Dominguez comes back and he's healthy. And you even have kids in the minor leagues like Spencer Jones, who's burst onto the scene, who, while I don't think he'll be a factor in 2024, could be. If he performs at a high level in the minor leagues and there are openings at the major league level, I guess it's possible you've got a kid that's making a big impact this season. So I look at Stanton more as, in the grand scheme of things, a part-time player.
But currently he's not a part-time player.
No, currently he's the DH.
Right.
I agree. I just think long-term, I view him more in that part-time role.
Yeah, that's what you want, but you're not the manager or the owner.
I'm not. No, I've been reminded I am not the manager. I am not the owner. And look, right now they're not set up for him to be a part-time player unless you're willing to platoon, basically him and Trent Grisham, or you're going to guarantee Trent Grisham at bats all the time.
So therefore, he is important because he is an everyday player
for now.
Right now.
For now. It's
not my point.
It's got some importance for now. So are we on the same page or not really? I'm trying to figure that out after that exercise.
We're waiting for Sean's 3.
Oh, yeah. What was your 3?
My 3 was Anthony Rizzo.
That's right. You said that
Number
already.
3.
What's your 4?
Anthony Volpe.
Number 4.
Stolen base element's going to be huge for this team. Speed, and he needs to pick it up and not just be buried as a 200 batting average 9th hitter this year.
Yeah, I think if they have a loaded lineup, like if DJ's healthy and Dominguez comes back and he's productive and Stanton's productive, like if they're productive all over the place, then Anthony Volpe being that little 9th place hitter is not that big of a deal.
You glossed over the big deal.
What's that?
If DJ's healthy, if Stanton's healthy.
No,
Anthony Volpe was healthy. Anthony Volpe played. Anthony Volpe is a young, exciting player for this team. If and when these guys have their IL stints and Anthony Volpe is the healthy player, he better do better than just hitting 201 this year. The 20 homers, 60 RBIs is great. I need a little more on base because when he's on base, stealing bases is going to be huge. I think Anthony Volpe could be set up for a big year here.
This whole conversation has made me wonder if my 99 win prediction is accurate or not. Do you feel better about that, Tiki, or worse?
I never felt good about it.
So what's your Yankee prediction? You kept saying you won't give one until the season starts. Well, guess what? We're 2 days away.
By the way, I'm 4 with you, Volpe.
Thank you.
So
Lockstep.
I think they are a 95-ish win team.
That's not bad.
Right,
That ain't
so
bad.
it could be
95
94, 95, somewhere around. That's what it feels like to me.
Okay.
Because there's going to be some bad things that happen.
By the way,
I just until they prove that's not going to happen, I just feel like that's going to happen.
Don't you think like most Yankee fans listening right now would sign on the dotted line for
Of course they
95
would.
wins?
Of course.
It
And
guarantees you the postseason.
It does, but it doesn't guarantee you the division.
No, I think 95 is like 50-50 would be
Yes.
the way I would look at it. Yeah,
Right.
maybe not.
Yeah, it depends who the 95 is. If you beat the Orioles a couple more times and all that. By the way, and we're doing this, we're WFAN, we're New York. You could go through the Dodger fan, the Astro fan, could all play this exercise and all could come away with Evan's thought, wait, maybe I don't feel good about 99 or 100 wins.
No, I agree. Everybody's got questions. We only worry about ourselves. Look, I'm going 99 wins. I think they're going to win the American League East. I'm not going to be scared off completely because of a DJ LeMahieu injury to start the year. It's not like they've ruled him out for the season.
It's not even that. It's just the fact that it happened. It's not that how much time he's going to miss or what the long-term effect is going to be. It's just that it happened. It's just dumb, stupid luck.
Hold on one
and
second.
it feels like the Yankees, this has happened constantly over
Tiki
the last couple of
Barber,
years.
95 wins.
Thank you.
Okay. More Ash.
104.
104?
Big year.
He's trying to one-up me. That's what he's doing.
Nope, best record in the AL this year.
Heard me say 99,
And the
said
AL.
I can't let
Game
the Met
7.
fan up me.
Okay,
They
if
will have a Game 7 versus the Astros in our building, ALCS.
They lose the first two to the Astros. You changing your tune?
No, long season.
Okay.
Long season.
You know what's amazing about this? The Yankees during this run, this Aaron Judge run, however you want to define this era,